Some of the main struggles for a performing musician are finding a balance between doing what you really love and making ends meet.
For me, the transition between being a full-time student and a full-time professional has actually been a very gradual transition. Right now, I'm currently student, local professional, and a professor of music at Texas A&M. And all three of those worlds have blended together in interesting ways.
We leave this cocoon of education where we're sort of allowed to cultivate what we're doing artistically and enter the world of financial reality. And so frequently, it's at that stage that we lose the momentum that we're developing artistically and musically.
I think being a part of the Young Artist Program has shown me that the traditional pathways are not the only way to go. I feel like I have a lot more resources and tools to draw upon to kind of create my career as a musician and to make it satisfying and really successful that way.
All of the musicians that we've chosen are at a very high standard instrumentally. And the question is, how do you take them to that next level as a performing artist so that they can communicate the greatness of this music and how to live your life as a musician in a way that's truly meaningful? I think a lot of young musicians today, and certainly the young artists that we've chosen for the DeCamera Young Artists Program, have a real curiosity about the world out there and how to connect to that world. This is why the Young Artists Program is really growing out of a lot of the goals and ideals of DeCamera, which is about how you create programs that relate to the world.
When we started talking about launching the Young Artist Program, we had a couple of different goals in mind. We wanted to create a program that helped bridge that gap between a formal education in music and a professional career in music. We had another goal too, and that was using all of these creative, talented people in ways that the community would benefit from. Taking them out to schools where they could inspire students to be more creative and do better work. Taking them to unconventional places to put on concerts so that more people would be exposed to the music that they really love.
DeCamera for years has been involved with bringing musicians into the community, into schools, but what we've always lacked really has been a kind of Peace Corps of musicians, in a sense, a group that we can really work with consistently and communicate to them our goals, our ideals, not just through words, but also by what they're playing.
In traditional training and performance, everybody becomes set on these goals of playing this concerto, this piece of chamber music from this great composer. And I think for me in the last year, what I've noticed is an increased awareness of wanting to pass on my passion to other people.
The DeCamera Young Artists Program has been a great inspiration to me as a teacher and to my students. There's a great excitement in the classroom, a great curiosity, and also a great sense among the students that someone really cares about them and respects them. And when these artists work with our students, I think the students reach deep down inside themselves to find some new ideas, some new feelings, some new experiences that they've never had before. And I think they truly feel that they are collaborating with the artist.
I would say I'm more anxious about where music is going than where I'm going in music, if that makes sense. I think we're all struggling as emerging professionals to make ends meet, to pay the bills, and ostensibly do it in our craft. As musicians, we are faced with the reality that we are the CEOs of our own company. I found DeCamera's Young Artist Marketing Workshop fantastic for a number of reasons. I think the overall tone was one of, we've used the word entrepreneurial spirit, and I think that's exactly what it was. It was definitely, it had a sense of, you're able to do this and these tools are available to you no matter where you are. And that's really exciting as far as, you know, being an emergent professional and concerned about that stage of the game.
The traditional career path for a musician is to win an orchestral audition, which is really challenging in this day and age, to become a solo performer, which as a violist is really challenging anyway. Being involved with the Young Artists program kind of allows us to more freedom in our programming choices, so there's not the kind of traditional constraints that we're used to as classical musicians. What I really liked about the performing opportunities with the Young Artists program this year were the variety and the variety of things you were called upon to do. For example, in the Menil performance we did, we had to interact with the audience, and we got to repeat that performance at least 3 times, which gave you the chance to kind of react to how the audience was perceiving the music and what you were saying about the music, and adjust your program to make it even better.
As we develop this Young Artists program and see the enthusiasm of the young musicians and the enthusiasm of the community, we really have more ideas and excitement about it than we have the wherewithal to get it done. But when we have this core of first-class, passionate, articulate young musicians who want to get out there, making music passionately, enthusiastically for the individuals who are there to hear it, that's what this program is going to allow us to do.
I think a thank you is in order, of course, from all of us as artists for supporting a project like this. We lose so many great talents because they're trying to work 3 jobs and not actually pursue the brilliant artistic career that they were already beginning. And so providing that sort of financial stability to buoy up our progress as artists and musicians is invaluable. And I think to give us as musicians that opportunity is something we can't thank you for enough.